The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start this show. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above. Podicalsons.com. Let's start there first and foremost. Check the website out. And the merch. Past episodes as well.
All of that.
All streaming platforms possible. Just run the search for Podical Sons Podcast. You're going to see these faces. YouTube, you can see these faces as well. We are here.
And YouTube and SoundCloud, we see the numbers climbing, man. We want more of that subscriber list to reflect on the numbers. Subscribe, that way you know what's coming down the pipeline. Get that notice bell so you notice when we got new episodes coming your way. And yeah,
Sweet.
More to it.
How you feeling today?
I am in a good mood right now. You're watching this on a Tuesday, but we are boogieing on a Super Bowl Sunday. I ain't got no favorites in the race. But I think I'm gonna go with Mahomes.
You're gonna go with Mahomes?
I'm gonna go with Mahomes.
Okay.
How about you? How you feeling?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I don't mind the Chiefs. I feel like this Eagles team, their defense stuff has been solid. But if I have a person between the two, I'll take Chiefs.
You take Chiefs.
I take Chiefs. So I'm not saying Eagles can't pull it off. I think it's any football is any person's game, right?
Right.
So especially when everything just rides on one damn game.
That's it.
It's not like it's a series or something like that.
Yeah.
One hit a quitter. So all those things can happen. Look at OBJ. He got injured last year during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that probably changed Vegas odds like drastically to some sides and stuff as well, right? So anything can happen, anything is possible. But yeah, all the best to both of them and everything. If you see me, I'm in red. Red is my color. I'm not hunting the Chiefs. So I didn't get paid by nobody from the Chiefs yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, man, I'm here, man. Here relaxing, and enjoying my trans seasons.
Your trans seasons.
My trans seasons, because my seasons, my winter identifies as spring.
As spring.
So when these great things happen,
right?
Some people are like, the weather is not the same how it used to be. We don't live in the same world no more.
And that's okay. They just say, we'll take it however we get it.
I don't know if it's not cold. That's okay.
As long as it's not cold.
We just got to go with it. Like all the changes that came from the previous world that happened in this current world, you're not okay with them, but you just take them.
Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad, right?
You know what I'm saying?
And right now, the fact that you can walk outside and not be bundled down like the abominable snowman, then we'll take that.
Blessing,
we'll take that.
Blessings and blessings and blessings. Yeah, man. Let's get to the first polls. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First poll of the week says, do you prefer karma or revenge? 81% said karma. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I prefer karma too.
You know about dressing all black like the Omen?
Nah, because I think that like that's too much energy, man. I feel like if karma got this, I could go on and focus on some other parts of my life.
Okay, so hold on. Do you think karma could be like a old person's sport, and revenge could be a young person's sport?
Yeah,
because you have to have energy for the. Yeah. And I look at it
that's how I would see it.
I feel like if you're a seasoned, and this is just the women that I see, no shade. I look at it where there's some women that would Jasmine Sullivan bust the windows out the car. That takes some energy. You got to drive somewhere. That takes a
lot of energy.
Pull up, have your getaway driver, all of that to go. You know what I'm saying? The other ones now, the older ones who believe in karma is looking like, God gonna get his ass. My God don't sleep. God ain't, God don't like ugly. And,
The next week his front engine drops out the car because he wraps it around a pole somewhere.
My Lord. No, but look how God good.
Look how God good.
Look how God good. No. I look at it like it's on that level. You're right, though, because I look at it, it takes energy.
Yeah, it takes
to be about revenge. Because
energy.
Because one, some people might plot out like an ultimate revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Some shit might have like a long ploy, you know what I'm saying, to work out. It might be even keel. Or something, it might be something short.
Right, yeah.
Because I know one chick said, she told me this. She's like, she would never get married because all men cheat. So she said, once she finds out he cheats, she's automatically going to fuck his best friend and stuff and let him have no woman and no friend. Right. I was like, that's a quick-ass revenge plot.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how you know the friend's going to fuck you? I know he would. I was like, yikes. So I always feel bad. I'm like, yeah. I'm more of I've always been more of a karma person compared to like revenge. Because I look at it where I don't think revenge is like over. Let's say, and the reason why I say it like that is like, all right, you kill my family.
Yeah.
Then I come out there and try and find you. I might, some Kill Bill shit. Might take me some time to find you. I find you, then I kill you.
Right.
I don't know who else might benefit with you being alive. So now me killing you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might want to come after me and everything like that. And I got to defend myself now. So I might gotta be killing more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like it might not stop. And even if it does stop, when I get everybody out the way, I probably hear some cherries in the background. Freeze, get on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I overthink that shit way too much, but
might be a little bit too much.
And that's the reason why I just said, fuck it, let me go with karma.
But you know, it goes with your optimistic outlook on life as well. Because if you're going with karma, you trust the fact that that person will get what's coming to them. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, karma don't always work.
It don't.
It got a long play. It's an LP.
It's got a long play, and sometimes it doesn't make itself known. So karma could have happened, and you may not have been there to witness it, or you may not know of it at all that it happened.
Yo, there's that it's Action Bronson's song, Baby Blue. And it's featuring Chance the Rapper, right? And it basically the song is about like, a song to your ex.
Right.
Right? When Chance comes in, low-key, I felt bad for his ex. Like he's like, I hope you win the lotto and you lose your ticket. Like, yeah, I hope you work at TGIF Fridays on Fridays.
Yeah.
And it's so busy that you can never get off on Fridays. Like he was going in, right? And I was looking like, God damn, leave the girl alone. Like
she heard him, man. She heard him something bad.
So don't worry, her karma will catch up to her.
Right. Just let her karma catch up to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next poll moving on is it ever okay to kill someone? And that 67% said no.
67% said no.
No, it's never okay to kill someone.
If it's a life or death situation,
you about that life? Touch me, man.
I'm about that life.
I was about to say, the fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. Like,
I was like, somebody gots to go.
Man, these people, look here. I think the wildest thing and stuff to me is that, all right, a lot of times, let me say my people. Let me speak for my people and people that I know. Most of them are from the Christian Catholic faith.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah.
So that's kind of etched in my friends and people, like, fiber, right?
Yeah.
In their mental brain. I want to say, let's say the ones that don't, my friends who might be of like Buddhist or the Islamic faith, or the Hindu faith, I'm pretty sure they might have their own versions, their own spin on it. I'm not too sure because that's not really my world.
Right.
But I do know for a fact that the Bible says an eye for an eye.
Eye for an eye. That's what I've read it somewhere.
So
I've read it somewhere.
So if we're talking about like even the revenge aspect and everything, I'm gonna let the karma kind of come after you and stuff. But I look at it as now you're in a situation where somebody done took another loved one's life. Now they got a gun to like your wife.
Right.
You got a gun on you. They've already done proven that they have what it takes to kill.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not gonna kill to save your boo?
I mean, if my boo is not deserved of death, then I'm here to save her life.
So what does she deserve that? What the fuck does that even mean? That's like,
Listen,
what does that mean?
Because I was about to say even before you even mentioned that, if I'm not deserving of death, then I'm gonna fight to preserve my life. Meaning, I can't go out and willfully, wrongfully kill somebody and expect to get away with it, because I wouldn't expect that person to get away with it.
Very true.
Right?
Very true.
So that's why I say if I'm not deserved of death, then I'm gonna fight to save my life or preserve my life. But if I got it coming to me, man, it's like, well, it's gotta stop here. It's gotta stop with me with the wrongdoing.
See, I look at it where, okay, that aspect you were talking about, right, for the preservation. Some people, I don't know, I always just crack the joke and stuff, whatever, with somebody I know, but they used to say pure uncontaminated evil, right? And some people, like, killing might be nothing to them.
Right.
Like, they've been microwaving cats since, like, since like the age of 4.
Age 4.
Age 4, they've been microwaving cats and doing some wild other type of shit, whatever.
All the neighborhood cats slowly disappearing.
Yeah, so
what's
like
been happening.
Killing ain't really shit to them.
Right.
Right? But they're killing for, I don't know, maybe to feed a feeling or lust or desire, or killing makes them feel good. I don't know. Right. I'm not in that world.
Right.
I hope not to be in that world. No, I don't
think you're in that world.
Yeah, but I just don't. You're good. I don't want to speak in like indefinite.
Right.
And everything, and then
something pop up in the future.
Maybe like 20 years down the line, it's like, this motherfucker had a podcast, and he said he would never do this. Look at him. He's a liar, Your Honor. Convicted,
Right.
So I just want to speak from what I know, the current Marv now.
Yes.
No. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And we're living, okay, it costs money to come in this world. It costs money to live in this world. It costs money to leave this world.
Right.
From funeral to like birth to like just being around. And I feel like if you're of adult age or legal age enough to kind of provide for yourself,
yeah,
and you're working or you're hustling, you're doing what it takes to survive.
I agree with that.
Right? Because if you said fuck it, then I'm pretty sure life would be cut a little bit shorter than others.
Right.
So you're doing what it takes to survive and go through and everything. So it's okay for you to preserve your life that way. Why is it not okay to preserve your life the other way? I just look at circumstances and stuff as that they have to be definitely unique to the murder. I'm not a judge nor I haven't been on jury duty for like a murder trial.
Right.
But I look at it as where there has to be some kind of point where if you do kill, it comes to the light. And it's answered for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if like some of these killers and stuff like don't confess shit and stuff, but I know a lot of them, but at the end they're like, I killed like 90 people in that bombing, and it's just like flatline. You know what I'm saying? They want to get it off their chest at the last minute and stuff like that.
But that's what I'm saying. I think if you had to do it and it was for an ethical reason, then you would have no problem telling your story, right? It's like, bro, it was either him or me. You came at me with a fork. I don't know why. I've never bothered this man I've never seen this man in my entire life. I just finished coming from church. Here he is running ready to stab out my with a fork. I had to defend myself. I'm sorry. I killed him, right? But if it's something where on some non-ethical bullshit, you grew up from the age of 4 microwaving cats, the block is missing. You don't get what you deserve at some point, I think. It's the karma coming back.
The karma coming back. Okay, so let me ask you this. Would you kill 100 random people to save your family?
See, that's a good one.
100's too much for you? Can you stomach 50?
I might be able to do 50.
All right.
I might be able to.
You kill 50 randoms to save your family.
50 randoms. At the end of the day, I just can't ever find out who these randoms were or what the future life may have been, but I cut short.
I was about to say, okay, well, there are 50 random children
50 random children.
to save your family.
At what age is my family at? At what age is my family at?
Currently right now. Currently
right now?
Currently right now.
Damn, that would be hard. I don't know, man. You'd send me somewhere where there's like some outlaws children.
Oh, like the juvenile hall badass kid?
Make it the odds a little bit weightier so I can have a...
You want the juvenile hall kids?
Give me the juvenile hall kids.
I thought
Give me kids town, you know what I mean? Where they beat up all the adults, they ran all the adults out.
Oh, wow.
Give me kids town. Let me go.
You're definitely going there.
Let me go in there.
Because it's self-defense after that.
Yeah, exactly.
I came for water. Let's get him. Well, fuck it. Now you're killing everybody because of self-defense.
Self-defense. First 50, I'm out.
First 48. Yo, let's talk about a little mayor. Not even a little mayor. Let's talk about Mayor John Tory.
A little light work. A little light mayor work. I thought for a Toronto mayor, it's a little light mayor work.
It is. I mean,
R.I.P. Rob Ford. He was the first one with the that I know of.
The controversy.
The Scatel scandal.
Scatel scandal.
Scatel scandal.
So, I don't know. Let me say this. Tell me from your side, what's your take on this whole John Tory thing before I go?
I think it's a situation where...
Well, lead the way. Let them know. Stuff.
Okay, well, it's...
Toronto mayor.
Toronto mayor has a staffer that was just a little bit more than a staffer on his committee. Now, basically what they're saying is the married mayor started this relationship with one of the staff members over, I guess, during the COVID
the
lockdown.
Height of the pandemic.
The COVID lockdown periods. Which, if I'm thinking it would make sense if there's only a certain amount of people that you can be around.
So you got to pick your side chick. You can't fuck your wife.
You can fuck your wife, but if you're that type of guy who's going outside and you can only go outside a certain distance,
what's that shit you were saying? Your social bubble.
you're so exactly. If you had to narrow down your social bubble, and these people are constantly in your social bubble, I was wondering, do you think during that period, right? Because we look at it as us, the average worker, being locked out of work, not being able to go to work.
Okay.
Right? The flip side to that is the mayor, people on this committee and the staff like that are constantly working because they're in a crisis. Right?
Okay.
So while we are not the average citizen socializing on the regular, they may be socializing at least, I want to say, 12 to 16 hours throughout the day, every day.
Amongst each other.
Amongst each other. Do you think that he spent more time amongst his staffers than his actual family during that period?
I don't doubt that.
I
don't doubt that.
That's what I kind of, and that's why I said, it kind of makes sense that it would be with a staffer, and what happened around that time. Prior to that, I don't think something like this would have happened with him, with the mayor.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, because just like what you were saying, I remember it was Ashley Madison. When Ashley Madison had their breach and everything,
right,
about privacy invasion, I think Ashley Madison, the CEO or owner or somebody in charge at the time, right before the hacking, I think did an article or did a blog or article or stuff saying that they said, what is your biggest competition? Right? And they were saying pertaining to like dating sites like Tinder Tinder, Bumble, and everything. I don't think not eHarmony, because eHarmony more specifies for like
Right.
finding a spouse
Right.
type.
Yeah.
And other ones could be pertaining to like hookups.
Right.
And he mentioned at the time, his biggest competition is not those sites. His biggest competition is coworkers. Because coworkers spend a good amount of time together
Right.
socializing.
Right.
And the socializing turns to fraternizing to possible affairs.
Right.
And for Ashley Madison, that makes money from basically keeping affairs and everything secretive.
Right.
That was the competition. So
You gotta- making a business out on affairs is I tell you, it's genius.
It's ruthless, but it's genius.
I tell you,
though.
it's genius.
It is ruthless, but it's
Yeah,
genius, though.
yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not fully ruthless, because I would assume that the person, if you're going about an affair like to this level,
Right.
you know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
Like you should be holding yourself accountable for all of this.
Right.
Right? So for back to Tory and everything, for him mingling all those multiple hours and stuff, whatever, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I remember during that time stuff in the pandemic, I was single,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I tried to date.
Right.
And I remember before, like when I would tell them, like, you know, what I do and everything like that, or where I work, you know, oh, you work in a hospital? They all friendly. I think they see dollar signs in their eyes and shit like that. And it was kosher.
Yeah.
Right? And as soon as the pandemic dropped in, ew, you work in a hospital?
Germ.
You sure you don't got COVID?
You're germ.
How do you know? How many patients you got at COVID? How many patients died at your hospital with COVID? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the language for me and stuff definitely changed. And it was kind of lonely. And I want to say, to the good extent, I seen a few coworkers and stuff come out there boo-booed up.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a few boo-booed up and everything. And I think one or two like got spoken to by upper management folk.
Okay.
Because there's cameras to watch cameras.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like, these people are dumbasses, whatever. Remember we were talking about stockroom smashing?
Right.
If they use a few stockrooms, they'd have been all right.
They'd have been all right.
They want to go do some shit all kind of out in the open and stuff, whatever. Like, oh, time elapsed. You guys were away for about 20 minutes to the side room. We see you guys both go in there together, and another person comes out solo, fixing up appearance.
Yeah.
A few people got clipped. But I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it, especially during that time. If everything was kind of slow. Let's say he's not seeing his wife like that. Let's say he was staying at somewhere where he can do these first response to like the city hall meetings. Because I believe we had like every day the prime minister spoke.
Yeah.
And then every day I think the premier would speak every day.
Yeah.
Not too sure if the mayor stuff was, but a lot of the mayor moves and stuff was spoken. And even CB24 especially had, they have some time, I think, during the week where they talk to the mayor.
And I'm telling you, and
he was plugged in.
And the immediate staff is probably going to consist of maybe 5 to 6 people. And they're always, if you're working, they are working as well. It's just, that's it.
So yeah, I see the affair going on.
So if you're ever interested, just backtrack the mayor's life for the past maybe 6 to 9 months, and see if you can recognize any young staffer that's in the crowd but no longer is there.
Nah, fuck that. Go back to the mayor before he became damn mayor, because that part of the issue why I didn't like Tory like that, because Tory. I don't like politicians because it's the smear campaign shit.
Right.
The smear campaign is what kind of does it for me, like kind of turn me off, because I'm like, if you really about your policies, stand on that.
Stand on that.
Why you gotta stand on the slander and everything to get ahead? You know what I'm saying? They're not standing on these things. And then now, when Rob Ford was still well at the time, he was conservative. John Tory's conservative.
Right.
The fuck you got two conservative parties running for the city of Maryland? Like, you have other seats to possible, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
NDP, the Liberals, and the Green folk, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No.
They want to beef it out.
They want to beef it out on public stage and stuff. And they're saying that the current mayor is making a spectacle of the city of Toronto. And I will recall tons of people saying it on the newspapers, blogs, and everything. Me, I fucked with Rob Ford.
I fucked with Rob Ford.
So I looked at it where, okay, whatever you guys want to say. John Tory came in with the smear campaign thing. Rob Ford got out. John Tory went in. And he was like, he won't make a spectacle of Toronto. Not saying cheating is a spectacle, but you put us right back on the page, the front pages again.
Yeah.
Right? So, live in a glass house, don't throw stones.
You think he had to step down or he just did the right thing with stepping down?
Like if he was forced or coerced?
I don't think he was forced or coerced. I do think, like we mentioned off here, he is trying to probably get ahead of something. Mm-hmm. But do you think if he really wanted to stay on, it was one of these things that eventually he might lose the mayorship, but probably not have to shy away from politics?
He won't lose. I don't think he will lose the mayorship. My opinion, he won't lose the mayorship. He might lose his marriage.
Right.
So he can stay on.
Right.
And I guess if, I don't know what goes on in their household. If it's all solid for love, if it's built on love and everything like that, that's a hell of a shame to wear.
Yes.
You know, because if like, let's say if you heard Beyonce and stuff out here, got caught jumping on, I don't know, like Trey Songz's dick or some shit, and they call like photos of them fucking.
Right.
That's a piece of shame Jay-Z has to wear. And that's what I'm saying. And you're with a public figure.
Yeah.
Real public figure, not on Instagram shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she would have to wear that if he still remains mayor.
Right.
So I don't think it's enough like that to kind of get him X'd off, but I feel like he won't get that many supporters and stuff like that, but he'll still run because look, people fuck with Bill Clinton. Like, hey, you got your dick sucked.
I was thinking about it. Well, when we were talking about this, I was thinking about Bill.
You got your dick sucked in a position of power, high seat, right? And so some dudes,
because he didn't step down. But was it the year after he lost? Did he try to?
No, he said he did his full 8.
Did his full 8.
He did his full 8. They tried to impeach him.
Right. It was, and this was in his last 4 that it happened.
Yeah, then it came out.
Right.
So they tried to impeach him and stuff a little early and everything, and that didn't sit too well. But I mean,
there's a case where he kept his job and his woman.
No, that ain't built on love. That shit is definitely not built on love. It's built on
corporate politics.
Okay. Okay, because I think even like maybe about 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure, if not 10, then maybe a little bit more than that, Hillary Clinton's friend wrote an autobiography on her. And saying like that, their marriage is just for damn. You can grow to love somebody.
You can.
And at the end of the day, if like her room and his room are right next to each other and they keep those curtains closed and you don't live in that house, how the fuck you know they're not living in the same bed?
It's true. This is true.
Right? What goes on in their house goes in their house and stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Would you vote for a politician who's single?
Nah, I think he beats Mike. He's too much of the bad boy type when they're single like that. They're single and they want to run your country? Hell no. Get yourself some wife and kids. Let me see how you are around that verse.
Okay.
Let me trust you with my country after.
So okay, not prime minister, not presidente.
Mm-hmm.
What about mayor?
Mayor?
A dude's running for mayor. He's single.
A single mayor, I could probably rock.
Really?
I could probably rock with a single mayor.
I couldn't fuck with it.
You couldn't fuck with a single mayor?
I couldn't fuck with it because I look at it stuff as like, let's say you work with a whole bunch of like single women.
Right.
You married.
Yeah.
You work with some single women and everything around you. And they out here single, they dating, they on these apps and everything. Like, oh shit. I matched with the mayor. Then they're off on a Tinder date and everything like that. You see enough like a few days later, like, oh, how was it with the mayor? I signed the NDA, can't really discuss too much.
Right.
Then another one, oh shit, I matched with the mayor. You don't feel comfortable with stuff like that? Like he's just handing out NDAs like fucking pieces of gum?
Nah,
I feel like no. I couldn't trust it.
I think he'd have to, he'd better play it smart. and not be the Tinder swindler mayor.
No, he's not doing that.
But if he's one of those dudes that's corporate minded, business minded, and has a little doesn't even have to have like a full political education about him, but it's smart with the politics, and can help out the city. Then I don't see why not. If he's wise enough not to lock himself down because he knows he doesn't want to be locked down in this point of his life,
possible scandal,
right? With all these things that then why not?
I can't.
You can't?
I can't fuck with it. You seem more trustworthy if you have a wife.
You said he has a wife.
If you have a spouse, you seem more trustworthy. If that be the case, what Hillary Clinton tried to run for presidency, divorce bill. She couldn't.
Nah, she couldn't.
We know their marriage was all about business and stuff like that. Because the image of her, they'd be like, you couldn't keep your marriage together. The fuck you gonna keep the country together? That will be the talk.
Yeah. She couldn't.
I couldn't.
Single man, no.
Nah. Counselor. That's the highest seat.
That's the highest seat?
The highest seat.
What if he's a single mayor, right? And he was the deacon in the church for the past 10 years.
Oh, he fucking everybody in that congregation. Miss me with that. Definitely miss me with that. I'm switching churches because I feel like he should be bringing in more money from, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he'll have a squad that knows how to, I want to say, cut the icing off the cake.
Right.
Like I always feel like every company, especially if they're still thriving and doing well, they should be able to bless their workers with like Christmas bonuses. It ain't gotta be nothing wild. You gotta look at how big your company is, how much you make, and then just say like, all right, you know what? Let's say you get them like a little $50 extra.
Right.
Because that little incentive will make a person go a long way. That or a $50 gift card or something like that, like make it make sense because people won't feel like, oh, I'm just a number.
Yeah.
They see me. They see me, right? So this motherfucker out here cutting the icing off the cake to use for his dates?
Pretty much.
Miss me.
Pretty much.
Miss me with that. What we're not gonna do is that. He's definitely whatever the ops is, I'm fucking with the ops on this one. Whatever the ops is. If he's conservative, liberal getting that vote.
I'm gonna lay low. I don't want to jump into anything right now. I just want to focus on running this country, and I don't want these women trying to run.
You keep bringing it back to country. You're okay with a presidente being single?
The president can't be single.
So why you keep gunning for country?
I think because eventually he's gonna get there. But hopefully he's married before.
He better get a boo.
Hopefully he's married before he gets there.
If you're a council person,
right?
Councilman, councilwoman,
yeah,
single, dolo. You want to go for that mayor seat?
Yeah.
Get you a boo. Get you a spouse.
That's it. Marvin's not having no single mirrors.
No, I'm not. But like this.
Having no single mirrors.
Kathleen Wynne. She came in. She's lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Came in with her wife.
Mm-hmm.
She got my vote.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be married, Doc. You gotta be married. You're more trustworthy when you seem like you're married.
Okay. What if now?
He's still spicing this shit. Yo, how many variables you throwing?
Okay, what if people in your constituency said, hey, listen, Marv, we've been following you on the pod. We like your ideas. We think you're a very intelligent guy. We think you're very trustworthy and so forth like that. You run for mayor, you have our vote.
No.
Now, you're going to run for mayor as a single man, or you're going to hurry up and get married before you can get the seat as a mayor?
I mean, boo. Hold on, let me do a one knee.
Get down on the knee?
Hope you watching. I need this mayor seat. And you complete me like a Lego set.
That's it.
With you by my side, the city is ours. Do me the honors of being my wife. Yeah. That.
It'll be the first lady of the city.
Yeah, facts. That's it.
Yeah.
I can't. You're different, boy.
I'm a single mirror, man.
No, but
I work with a single mirror.
No, I always
single president and prime minister. I'm wary about you because you might end up at one of those bunga parties with the rest of the presidents and might not know how to act. But even the married ones don't know how to act.
like, all right.
This is true.
Whenever I look at like Derek Jeter,
Yeah.
right? Like especially Derek Jeter and stuff like in the past and everything, I looked at him and was like, wow, the Yankees is cutting you this bread, my guy. And even George Steinbrenner and them, they're looking like, yo, we know he's spending on the women.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, there's tons of times in New York, you see him spotted with this woman, this woman, this woman. How many celebrities he done dated and everything like that. Derek Jeter's that guy. Be like, okay, your mayor, you want your mayor to move like that? Aren't we the George Steinbrenners in that case?
Listen.
We're the taxpayers, right?
Listen, is he winning you ball games?
My fucking gosh.
Is he winning you ball games?
You're okay. What is he winning us? The best mayor? If he wins the best mayor in like the country,
Right.
fuck it.
What if he turns the city around? What if he becomes mayor and he turns the city around? And the city's popping now. You wouldn't be okay with that? You still need him to be married?
No, be councilman. Change your ward around. Turn your ward upside down. Yeah, flip that shit. Then I give you that opportunity and stuff like that. Nah, straight good.
Right.
I feel like women marry for men and women, certain people,
Right.
they marry for status. That's part of the title and stuff you gotta have.
I see that.
You're a wild boy, Smooth.
Yeah, but I'm wild. You just want him to be married. He probably hates his wife deep down. But I want to be the mayor, so I'm gonna please Marvin the crew and get married.
How do you hate your wife?
I don't know. Look at Bill and Hillary.
No, Bill got a money train. He don't hate this situation. Bill's looking at like, I can get my dick sucked.
Right.
I can skeet all over a damn dress.
Mm-hmm.
And after I'm done, come on the dress, I apologize for my lewd behavior. And I still go home to my wife.
My wife.
All right.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife. That's it.
All right.
Thoughts and prayers to Turkey and Syria.
Yes.
This death toll and stuff is wild. And I don't know. Ever since, like, I want to say from the new year started with the cloud pussy,
Right.
my eyes kind of, I think the whole world's eyes kind of turned over there because now conspiracy theorists are saying, like, the cloud was UFO shaped because the color, the time of the day it popped up, and so many variables and stuff with that. And then now you have this whopping astronomical earthquake that claimed the lives of so many.
Yeah.
The death toll has been rising and rising and rising. And to my knowledge, it was 22,000 plus.
All the videos that I've seen so far, like as far as things actually happening, were like aftershock stuff, like buildings crumbling. Like this is after the fact the earthquake has happened.
You're right.
And I was like,
you're right.
I was like, that is you never stop to think of that, where just like with the whole 9/11, right? When the buildings came down.
When the planes hit.
When the planes hit.
When the planes hit, you never thought the whole building would have come collapsing down.
Would come collapsing down, right? So it's all these repercussions after the initial damage.
Right.
That you still have to be wary of while you're in the moment. Because I'm like, bro, like, you're here taking a picture of this building. You don't even know which direction that building's going to fall.
Correct.
Here's this building that it's going to fall.
Correct.
Right? So it's all these things like after the fact. And then when you hear the amount of people who passed, just knowing that fact and how that sort of stuff happens, it's like, yeah, it's easy to see, and then it's crazy all at the same time.
It's I don't know. I'll say this. My brain, just the way how my brain or how I think is that, when you're all just drilling into the earth and everything, you're going through layers. Butterfly effect is real.
Right.
Right? We're doing a lot to the planet itself. So when the planet is now making a response, it's not like a little like a thump. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's coming with a boom.
Yeah.
think about how many oil rigs there might be, ocean, land, all that type of stuff, the amount of drilling shit that we're doing, pollution, all this type of stuff and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
These places and stuff like these plate tectonics, that's what they're called, plate tectonics.
Yeah.
Yo, these things can shift any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
And like I said, all the other shit we're doing,
right,
is kind of like, all right, let's say
just adding on top of that.
Right, let's say on the opposite side of the world, let's say, fuck it, we'll say Australia, somewhere along those lines, there might be an oil rig that probably set this damn earthquake off on that because the plate shifted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boom. This is not taking no quote unquote, we'll say 1,000 lives, 22,000 plus.
22,000.
And we're living in modern times and stuff where like everything is recorded.
Yeah.
It's harsh to see. I seen him pull a newborn baby. Somebody they were dying and they gave birth to a baby.
Right.
The baby was still crying. Umbilical cord out. Mother was crushed.
Yeah. It's hard.
And you're seeing this footage and stuff of like the baby
that's
getting.
hard to see.
Remember we were talking about David Koresh and that whole Waco stuff? There's only that much footage of it.
Right.
Like if you look at it.
Yeah.
And that's from like, I don't say reputable, we'll say reputable sources and everything that probably just got passed around the Associated Press back then. These are regular, everyday people with cell phones in their hand. And you got to multiply that by like how many more of them compared to like the Associated Press photographers they might send out to these things or cameramen. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
It's footage after footage after footage after footage after footage. It's
just been amateur footage. It hasn't been, you're right, it hasn't been the cameraman on the ground, on the scene, reporting live. No, it's people with their cell phones.
Everyday people.
In it. In it.
It hurts to see. It hurts to see, but that's in God's will. That's what I believe in. It's all in God's will.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, going back to what you're saying with this whole planet, I think, you know, with what you're saying, what we're doing to it, I just look at it as the planet as it's a living organism, just like we are, right? And if we feel that we're the only beings who live on this earth or in this solar system that has a conscience or is conscious of what's happening to itself. Yeah, I think we got to be kidding, man. If we got parasites in our body, if we got parasites on our body, we do something to get rid of those parasites in or on our body.
Hurricanes.
I don't think
tornadoes.
I don't think we need to look at Mother Nature any different. Any different. I seen somebody post this. I don't know if it was based off of the earthquake or something was happening, but they were basically saying because of what we're doing, it contributed to global warming. All these things are happening, and then I think the last quote was like, "We're killing the earth," and I'm saying to myself,
"Yeah,
no." I'm saying to myself, "We're killing us." I say the earth will find a way to get rid of us before it dies and bounce back without us. So we can stay here and think that this, that, and the third, we're killing the earth, we're doing that. No, we're killing humanity as a whole.
No, you're right. You're right. I agree with you.
Look at the catastrophes the earth survived prior to us. Meteorites hitting, like smashing this planet. Like, catastrophes have been happening. We're just witnessing this one coming up now.
No, you're right. Because I think one of the things that kind of came into my mind was, I think is it Utah? It kind of looks like a big ass crater. Like is it like some kind of meteorite or something hit it and it just kind of carved out the land?
Right.
And I always thought that. I think within that vicinity, you had all those, I don't want to say like the Aztecs, but like some ancient ruins and all
Mayans and all of that.
The Mayans in that neck of the woods and all that. So with that thing could have been like, that epicenter could have been a city. Could have been a town, village.
Exactly.
And that bitch just decimated. Earth's still going.
Still going.
Right? Then I look at Desert for desertification, like when things get turned into like a desert, right?
Right.
And these little pockets and stuff, oases and everything. Oases. Is that a word?
We'll use
Okay.
it.
Oases.
We'll use it. Many oases.
Many oases. An oasis can just pop up in the middle of a desert. To our knowledge, there's no reversing to desertification.
Right.
But an oasis can just pop up. That's the planet's way of bouncing back.
There you go. Right. And it's just like
we didn't do that. We didn't help make it. We don't know how to make an oasis pop up in the middle of the desert.
We don't. It's just like you're saying, like with these tectonic plates, they're moving it and they're shifting. Like we're not doing that. That's like the Earth is doing that. So who's to say just like in the middle of the desert, a tectonic plate doesn't split severely enough where we now have a fractured line that lets in water from the ocean. Now that desert, all of a sudden becomes fertile land.
Land, yeah.
Life starts to begin the process there, right? Like that's that's not our doing.
No, it's because most of those beaches, they're sand.
Right.
Deserts, they're sand.
Right.
Right. The beaches, they have water, like, let's say deeper into the water when you're going out. That sand is still there, just ocean water over it. You have seaweed, you have kelp, you have all the extra stuff just building around and life is coming around it. So what you're saying, this stuff is not far-fetched. Heal the world, make it a better place for the Chinese and the Russians so they don't bomb up this place. Yo. You want to talk weather balloon? Talk your balloon. Talk your Chinese spy balloon shit.
The spy balloon, the balloon that wasn't the balloon that wasn't.
Shit, and they shot down something else again.
They shot down something else again.
Yeah, they said it was
this. Because I heard there was something over South America. Were they saying
Canada? They shot over Canada.
After the one they shot down in the U.S.
Yeah, the balloon.
Okay,
they shot down that spy balloon.
Right.
Yeah. And then after they shot down the spy balloon, this was Friday or yesterday, the 11th.
They shot down another balloon flying over Canadian airspace.
Not a balloon. They said this thing was like an object the size of a small car. And they don't want to identify it, but the U.S. said to Canadians like, yo, this is in your airspace.
Right.
And the Canadians said, okay. Yeah, and the U.S. shot it down. The U.S. shot it down over Canadian air. Right? This was like in Alaska, Canada side.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was F-22s, the jets, the fighter jets?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they used F-22s the other day for the Chinese balloon.
And that's part of that whole area is part of that whole NORAD system. Right.
Yes, sir. So.
Okay.
All
right. Well,
when is World War starting?
The weather balloon.
Go ahead.
And, it was supposedly just taking weather over, the U.S. for a few days. And I guess the U.S. didn't like it because it was too low, right? And it was visible, unlike the other previous 4 weather balloons
higher
that flew over and people didn't see that. So that was okay. But eventually they shot it down. And I'm like, we need weather balloons in this day and age to like accurately predict weather that's coming towards you on the other side of the world.
They do track the storms and everything, because I feel like not a lot of news outlets, like I've heard you say it several times and stuff, there's only like maybe 4 major, let's say, companies that are responsible for media.
You're right.
And what if like, let's say one conglomerate and stuff runs everything for the US side, and the next side would be like China, Japan and everything. They don't fuck with each other.
Right.
So when it comes to US giving worldly news and stuff, they don't want to take everything face value. So they may want to send their own equipment over to make sure. The weather balloon shit is supposed to be higher.
Should be higher.
Because it's supposed to be higher than regular plane level.
Right.
This shit was low enough for people to see, right?
Right, yeah.
So that's why I was like, that's a violation. That and
violated.
U.S. and China and their issues and stuff has been building for the past few months.
It's been building,
right?
This one was enough for them to cancel a trip. I think the Treasury was taking They canceled a trip to China, and then that was, I think, days or maybe a week prior to them shooting down the balloon.
Balloon.
Yeah. I think that China has been setting up their islands in the China Sea. They've been putting bases on them.
Oh, shit.
So they've kind of circumvented that little area. I think, if I'm not mistaken, India might be having a little tension with them right now. So, I don't know, man. It's looking like one bear is being poked, right? That would be Russia. And then on the other end, China's doing the poking.
Well, I'll say this. The nuke dance has always been in people's conversations for the longest.
Right.
Damn near everybody has nukes except for like, well, we know Ukraine don't have shit.
Right.
With all the money they getting, Ukraine could probably build a nuke. They got bread.
They got bread.
But I look at it where you have so many power players with tools and toys. And everybody is already just watching this one issue. And it's like, picture you see some people fighting in the street, right? In front of your house.
Right.
They're fighting in front of your street and stuff, where they're going at boom, boom, fist fighting and everything. And they're rolling around and all that type of stuff in the street. Part in the back of your mind is saying, as long as those motherfuckers don't come on my property,
everything's they can go at it.
Until it does come on your property.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when we have problems. And I feel like that might be the cause of like the war. Like the World War.
Mm.
And so I'm asking, like, you know, I just want to know, how much should I really be trying to do before this shit pop off? I got 2025.
Yeah. I think is it always a case where it comes on your property too? And then how does it come on your property unless you make your property available to that that time, right?
Well, it's not only
because even with the allies, like a lot of these countries, they have allies. Obviously, we're looking at Ukraine with the whole UN on their side, so they had the NATO nations, and then we have, I guess, Russia and the communist nations, which would be China.
Mm-hmm.
Other than China, I'm not sure who else rock with Russia like that, but I'm sure they have their allies. Even to the other day, like I was watching news and Russia sent like a good amount of like jet fighters to the Congo.
Mm.
And then I started thinking, if you depend on somebody's military to supply you with armament, does that automatically make you an ally?
I would think so.
I would think so, right?
Because we're giving Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm giving you shit to fight with.
I'm giving Ukraine. Canada's giving Ukraine money. US is giving Ukraine money.
Right.
That's an ally.
Right. So if I'm giving you shit to fight with, like you got your wars going on in the Congo, and now a world war is happening. I gotta drag somebody in. You owe me it. You owe me. I think at this point, right. So maybe not all allies, but those strategic partnerships. That's why China's so dangerous.
Damn near every country's in debt to China.
You think?
Damn near every country's in debt to China. So that's what I'm saying. So,
and that's how I always wonder how US be beef with China. So how when China be like, okay, you know what? Just give us all I want more. Like, what are the terms that these guys wrestle and fight over?
I don't know. Like, I always said that a long time ago. When I found out about the whole US was in debt to China, I was like, any day. Because it's kind of like, all right, you know somebody owes you money. Yeah. So they shouldn't really act all wild. Like, because my thing and stuff is, all right, I'm China, right? I'm China, and I'm out here, you're US and shit. You're out here, oh, I'm giving money to Ukraine. Hello?
Yeah.
motherfucker, you owe me some money. Like, yo, you out here giving billions over here.
Right.
You're in debt to me by trillions.
Yeah.
You better pay down on what you owe. Oh, you don't like that? Spy balloon.
Spy balloon.
So, I don't know. It don't seem like a stable type of setup so far. And I think for me, I'm never a fan of, like, let's say for back then, way back when your king rode on a horse and he came to the battlefield, well, you can kill the king. Your proper position and stuff, if they don't set up and protect the king enough, you can kill the king on the battlefield. Right. You got these leaders 10,000s of miles away from the battlefield, but these leaders are still around giving these fucked up orders out, you know what I'm saying, to determine something that's so far away from them. Yeah.
The illest thing the illest thing that I ever learned about war was that while your child is out on the battlefield, before your child even goes out on the battlefield to defend your country, in order for countries to go to war with each other, they have to sign a declaration of war. So they sit down in a room, and if they can't agree to terms to prevent this war, then they're going to declare war on each other. In this room, it's got like coffee, crumpets, tea, biscuits, all the things that you would have in a regular meeting. So these people are having a regular meeting to prevent bloodshed, what's about to happen. And they can't prevent it, so they decide, hey, we'll just shake on it and we'll go to war. And then now your child that has to go out in the middle of the field where it's actually taking place. Right? We're actually taking place. Your leaders back there. Leaders vacationing. Some of these leaders, they're vacationing.
I think Zelensky, the fact that Zelensky will leave to go to other nations or even like America and everything, UN, to go get money. Right. I think that's fucked, because I look at it as where there's people dying for the sake of you. Yeah. Right? And they're dying on quote unquote motherland or homeland. And you're nowhere on homeland. So
nowhere on homeland.
But that's just me. That's just my take. In
a day and age where you don't have to money could be wired to you like that. Well, no. You could be in front of you don't need to be standing up in person.
No, technically you do. I look at it, technically you do, because I look at it stuff as that if you want a favor,
it's better to come in person.
Yeah, I'm about to say, show me the sincerity.
It's better.
You come in person and stuff, whatever the sincerity.
But I believe if I was to come to you and I needed a favor, right? Yeah. And I'm in distress in my own country, right? And I hit you up and I say, yo, Marv, you know me, I'm a solid dude. Right now, I would personally come and sit down, break bread with you, and ask you for this favor. But right now, I gotta hold down the fort.
And that's fine. But remember, he did that in the beginning. But then how long? Oh, it's only so long you can do that for. Right. Because like, all right, can you please? All right, we send you something and stuff, whatever. Can you please? Be like, you know what? My Wi-Fi connection is fucking up over here. I don't think this is we shouldn't be talking and stuff. You know what? You're right. The lines are twisted. I'll come to you and beg you in person. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I'd have been like, yo, this man still calling? Still calling? Put him on the block list. That's it. I wanted to talk about who's more controversial to you, Dennis Rodman, Kyrie Irving. The reason why I even say it like that is because no matter what Kyrie Irving does, especially in this digital age that we live in, it's up. Yeah. This is not including him doing his personal post. Right. Now, we weren't in a time with social media and stuff like that for Dennis Rodman to kind of show off his antics that we've known him for. Yeah. Right? I feel like this Dennis Rodman and the Dennis Rodman of old, they share the same address, but they're not the same person. Not the same person. Because I feel like he was going through some shit. I'm not going to deny that. Right. Right? He was going through his own type of personal battles and feelings and all that type of stuff. I'm not saying Kyrie Irving wasn't going through anything like that as well. I just look at it where we only went by what the media covered.
Right.
And when I think he went to go do his whole Hall of Fame thing,
Yeah.
and Big Bad Bully from the beat up Pistons,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? To like, I do what the fuck, bad as I want to be. That was his slogan. I think he had a book called that.
Yeah.
Bad as I want to be, to grown ass man crying for his induction for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's mad growth. That's mad growth.
Mhm.
Because Dennis Rodman didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Even when it came to the Kim Jong-un situation, he tried to be peace mediator and stuff for that, right?
Right.
Which is dope. Kim Jong just fucked with him because he's like, yeah, I like your style. You know what I'm saying? And he just kind of looked like, I know you like my style, but my peoples really don't want you to go to war. And like, if you guys go to war, I got to go back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Dennis Rodman, of what we're capturing in like now social media time, he's tame.
Right.
Everything that Kyrie Irving does is on blast.
Yeah.
He's a player that came into the whole world and everything, into the whole, his NBA career. He came into the NBA career mild and moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think when they start making super teams and LeBron and stuff start doing the super team and stuff there, they start looking at them and Kyrie has more eyes on him. Kyrie, vision-wise for like a basketball player, fucking phenomenal. I'll never show Kyrie's skills.
Right.
Kyrie just moves like a team player to me.
Right.
Because the moves or certain things that he'll say and do, it's kind of like, it's for me.
Right.
And I know a lot of people might disagree with me and they might say, well, I don't give a fuck about the team because I'm my own person and everything like that too. But I'm like, yeah, but it's not a one-on-one game.
Right. Right.
It's an organized team game. Right? Do you want Kyrie in your All-Stars? Yes. Do you want Kyrie on your team from like the amount of controversy he could bring to your team? He does. After the Cavs, I don't feel Kyrie's been on a lot of teams.
Yeah, he's been on a few teams.
Like the loyalty thing, like you can tell he don't give a fuck about team and stuff. Even like that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Even like when it comes to that aspect, I know everybody's about getting their bread and everything like that. But bread ain't everything to this dude.
Right.
If the man's willing to take his bread and give to the WNBA players that won't make money and everything to you, no?
Right. Right.
But like I said, from him doing the money thing, everything that Kyrie Irving does on media, who's more controversial? Dennis Rodman, from what you remember and you gather to current, versus Kyrie Irving?
I want to say Kyrie Irving, and it just, I mean, you outlined pretty much the main reason for me is just that the culture that we live in now, where everything is so immediately seen, right, and everything can be publicly ridiculed as opposed to it just only being known amongst a few, gotten its chance to work itself out, and nobody else is the wiser for you ever to catch you in a foolish mistake or a shortcoming or something like that, right?
Right.
So Rodman may have had those moments, but the ones that are ever going to really stick out to us are the ones that are going to be newsworthy, the ones that make actual news. There's probably going to be one or two rumors that we'll hear because it's just so juicy and so salacious that
about who, Rodman?
Yeah, about Rodman or anybody in that fact, in that era.
Okay.
That it might have just been so juicy and just salacious that it just has a way of working its way out, right? And getting out to the masses. But otherwise than that, if it's something that could be, if you're in a tight-knit group of people,
it'll just die and stay in your circle.
It'll die and stay in your circle, right?
Right.
Somebody outside of your circle may see it, but what's the word going to be worth if they don't have a camera phone to capture it on, right? Now we fast forward in this day and age, a lot of these things might have slipped or gone on under the radar for Kyrie if he was in that day and age. There's no chance of it doing that. It's just the times that we live in. Everything is much more accessible, right? And then again, everybody loves a villain. So he's the villain in this story, right? In this day and age. It's unfortunate that it's the age of the camera, but but it is what it is. So he's gonna come on. He's definitely gonna come across more controversy than anybody else. But then 10 years down the line, when when somebody else takes up the mantle and he's gotten that chance to mellow out or become more, I wouldn't say mellow out, but become more accepting to more masses, let's say. Like how Dennis has gotten the chance to become more accepting to more masses. And for people to actually be able to look past the antics and see Dennis for who he really is. For when some people get that stage with Kyrie, there'll probably be some other idiot that's making a name in a bad way for himself that we're probably going to say,
very true.
Who's more controversial? Is this person or the Kyrie who said, go look at this Hebrew book because we all Hebrew, screw the Jews. Hebrews.
There's been NBA let's say this. NBA players don't fall short from scandals. But I want to say a NBA player consistently, like, okay, we heard Kobe and his rape case. What else bad have you heard from like Kobe and stuff besides that?
He buttoned up.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like these things come like a dime a dozen, but then I haven't seen anybody like just newsworthy like that, especially from the NBA side, as much as like Kyrie, since Dennis Rodman time.
Trying to think if Meta didn't have a run like that either. I mean, he got into a few here and there's, but it wasn't.
Meta's thing and stuff was, I think, people contact before.
Right.
And then he had like those kind of aggressive fouls.
Right.
Then when they came to the aggressive fouls, it already had a build-up in most players' minds. They're like, this motherfucker think we still playing. Like when Jordan and them was playing,
Yeah.
With this aggressive shit. They're already kind of aware of him and his, like I want to say, not so friendly when he was still Ron Artest.
Right.
Right?
Right.
When that big brawl happened and stuff in Detroit, you automatically definitely put him at the center of the blame for it.
But I mean, even with saying that, even with mentioning Ron, you're right. It's a situation where we know them, but their antics are mainly on the basketball court. But it would for it to be on and off. Yeah, Kyrie and Dennis Rodman. I don't see anybody else who had static off the courts as much as they've had on.
Like I said, we know NBA players and stuff, they don't fall shy from scandals.
Yeah.
Right? And like cheating allegations and etc. and fraud and gambling and all that type of stuff. And I know it might sound like I'm going after Michael Jordan, but I'm not. It's just that he like I said, he encompasses a lot of those things and stuff for that. But again, it's still like, all right, we know Jordan and we know he did this, we know his father, we know he had a gambling problem, but it's still not to the weight of like Dennis Rodman shit to that time, because Dennis Rodman put on the fucking dress, say he's marrying himself, and he's fucking with Madonna. And to this day, my auntie will still say, "Bombo clock, Madonna, turn him out," or whatever. Like to this day, she's like, because every time she sees Dennis Rodman, she's like, Madonna did that to him, dirty girl. And all of that. So I just look at where Kyrie Irving, I just hope that he has his run where eventually maybe he might take retirement when he ever does go for retirement. Like I said, he's a phenomenal player. I love to watch him play.
Yeah.
It's a treat to watch him play. Him and Luka, is that going to work over there? I got to see it more in action to believe it. I said that after All-Star break, everybody's fangs come out.
Mm-hmm.
So when everybody's on grit and grind mode, we'll see. But Kyrie don't got no damn loyalty to nobody.
Nah.
So if this shit don't suit him well, whatever, adios.
Nah.
So yeah. And Mark Cuban's Jewish.
Mark Cuban's Jewish.
Don't let the Cuban name fool you.
I was gonna say, okay, so here what always the deciding factor for me was with Kyrie. is wherever he's going, how big is the Jewish population? Because that was one of the things with being in New York, right? New York has a high concentration of Jews, right?
Okay.
So if you say something or you do anything controversial towards the Jews in New York, they're going to definitely come out in droves and make your life miserable. I'm pretty sure there's some states where the numbers is not like that.
Yeah.
So do you end up in one of those states? And and that's what I was thought with Kyrie. Is like, does he end up in one of those? It's like he's traded to one of those states? Because if you're a state with a high population, you're probably going to the team owners and say, listen, you bring this guy here, we're gonna protest and this, that, and that every night. We're gonna make your life, we're gonna make a team and your life a living hell if you go ahead and pursue this guy.
Yeah, but this is a franchise, though. This is a big-ass franchise regardless. So I look at this stuff as where, look at it like this. Think about how many people do not live in the city of Toronto, and after the Raptors win a ship, how far they might drive to come to a game. Or they might even come in town for a game.
Right.
Right? That's still going to pop off because it's a big franchise. Mavericks have won what? They won the ship. They won, what? How many, one?
I think it was just one.
Just one? They've won a ship and stuff at least within 30 years. And they still do decent numbers, and much as you have a superstar like Luka and stuff, that people are going to come in droves just to see him in action. So it's not going to be far off to say like, all right, certain Jewish person doesn't live in Dallas, but they won't drive to Dallas.
Right.
People are still going to go where they want to go and stuff regardless. So it's just, it might not be as concentrated as like Brooklyn itself, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Because Mark Cuban is a Jewish person that lives in...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, not far off. Let's get to the question of the week, man.
Question of the week.
Question of the week says, could your opinion on a person ever change? Fire away.
Yes, if the person changes.
If
my opinion would have to change.
So if the person doesn't change,
then my opinion stays the same. They validate my opinion.
So what does the person have to do to kind of change? Because let's say, for example, I'm painting a hypothetical for you now.
Right.
The hypothetical I have in my head is where you don't like the neighbor across the street.
Okay.
Something about him. Some people I heard they say some people got a face you just want to punch.
Right.
He has one of those faces you just want to punch. This man tells you he feeds blind children and stuff, like in shelters in the city.
Right.
And he plows elderly people's driveways whenever the snow gets something feet. Is he still a piece of shit to you?
No.
But he does this regular.
But I didn't know that before. Before, I just wanted to punch him in his face because I didn't like what he looked like. But now that I got this information, he's a nice guy.
So he didn't do anything though.
His face can stay.
You just acquired information. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. I inquired or required the information. But let's say, okay, let me paint a different picture.
Go ahead.
Right? This dude from the age of 4, all he been doing was microwaving cats. He's got this mean disposition about him and swears that there's no cat safe in the neighborhood as long as he's around.
Heathcliff.
Last year, he stumbles upon a little kitten that was almost half frozen in the snow. He brings it inside. He warms it.
In the microwave?
In the microwave. Not enough to kill it, but brings it back to its natural state and realizes, hey, I'm not going to kill any more cats. He changed. So I'm going to have to change the way I look at him. He's not going to be a filthy cat murderer no more. He's going to be somebody who's loving.
That's not a hypothetical. That's a Netflix movie. I feel like that's a Netflix movie. Possible like Hallmark, W type of flick.
It's going to get sponsored by Purina.
Yeah. Whiskers is going to
sponsor.
Yeah, that's fucked. I feel like my opinion could change on a person.
Right.
But I try my best not to have a full set opinion on a person until I have a conversation with them or I deal with them. Right? And I feel like, okay, let's look at LeBron. LeBron shattered records last week.
Right.
I seen tons of people have the conversation, LeBron ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they still want to compare him to Jordan. 2 different times, 2 different eras. We always say that, but they still want to bring and compare LeBron to Jordan.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm looking like, if you look at this era, just this era alone, who is standing with LeBron?
There's nobody I could.
But there's tons of people also that won't admit that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Their opinion, no matter what somebody like LeBron would do, would never change on LeBron.
But I mean, as you always say, you got to be liked, right? I mean,
it's a like me show.
It's a like me show, right? It's if those who typically hate on him just really don't like him.
Yeah,
don't really like him. There's not much you can hate upon LeBron as far as it comes to basketball. Him being a humanitarian or a human being, it's like. And again, I don't know personally. We're not with him, 100% of the time. But from what we know, he strays away from controversy as much as he possibly can. He's kind of an even keel character,
as you should, as an active billionaire playing.
Right. So really it boils down to you hating him not for just some reason you just don't like him. And you don't like his personality. I don't know what it is. But there's no other reason for the hate. And I can see if you're a diehard basketball fan and Jordan may be your GOAT, or even Kobe for that matter. Kobe might have been closer to the era of LeBron and has accomplished similar things. But again, this guy's he's out here breaking records. So you can't deny that fact. He cannot deny that fact. He may not be the greatest to ever do it, but he's damn near close, sitting in the top 3.
And not number 3.
All
right. Well said. Let's get to the Ask the Sons. First Ask the Sons of the week says, it comes from Mac Farmer. Are you both pro or anti-gun?
I'm pro-gun.
I'm pro-gun. You damn redneck Republican,
I'm pro-gun, man. It's like...
Yeah, I'm pro. You better be caught with one than without one.
Yeah.
And I feel like, if you move accordingly and like somebody might have something, you talk and move a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, I'm more pro on that side. Next question comes from Warden100. What would make the world better if it were to disappear?
I thought about money, but it might take a while first before the world gets better without it. Because I think just the total disappearance of it at an instant, people would first lose their minds because they wouldn't know how to operate without it. But then you would have to find a way to operate without it.
Barter.
You would have to go back to the barter system, right?
Yeah. I'll go to barter, and then after that, from barter, and probably end up back to socialism. So capitalism would die when you have no money, right?
Right.
So now people are doing things for like each other, for the collective,
right? For
the social aspect and stuff. I'm an electrician, I do this. You're a plumber, you do that. And someone else does this, and we help each other.
Bob's your uncle. Well, he's my uncle.
And he's your uncle. Racism. Because I feel that, I don't know, something in the back of my mind, especially when it comes to like the genetic dance and the gene pool.
Right.
We've come to a point where to have a better chance to survive in this world, that, the environment and everything that we're fucking up and everything, if we mix more with each other. But I look at it stuff as we have to know like I want to say the family tree.
Right.
My genetics and another woman's genetics might not be well enough, and we might produce a child with autism.
Right.
Somebody else's genetics and stuff with her might produce a superhuman.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If we know the history and of how that aspect and stuff will work, we'll be a different place. Part of the thing that's holding that back is racism. And I want to say with racism, like we're talking about, I want to encapsulate like, I heard a chick say this, anything with the isms is a system.
Okay.
So if it's ism, it has a system and stuff to it, right? And if you're taking thing of racism, other little systems that attach to it, and now people can get into like the, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck with this person, or like, I know some people who were trying to do not like Hitler status, but trying to get the perfect person or build the ideal perfect person and everything like that, right? And some people, I want to say in modern day time, they might do them on a superficial level, like this person looks handsome, she looks hot, we'll have pretty kids, and then you turn out that they have some ugly ducklings.
Right.
Not really on that aspect, but it's kind of like from a world like, all right, this person is in, I don't know, sciences. This person is in medical related stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they're having children, they're teaching their children a mixture of the both. And so we more likely have a productive human in our society.
Yeah.
Not shitting on the stripper and the drug dealer like babies and stuff, whatever, but your odds to win is harder.
Do you think we would need something a little bit more to be taken away apart from racism in order for that to work, or do you think racism would be able to do it alone? Like, do you think we get rid of racism, right? And everybody's just in love with everyone. There's no borders. You can go anywhere you want.
Whoa.
Right?
No border. I don't like how you said that and you squinted.
No borders. You can go anywhere you want. Right?
Okay, so so no passports.
No passports.
Okay.
No passports. You can,
I thought you were talking like some gender fluid shit.
no nations.
Okay.
Everybody's one, and then so you get to the point where we done crossbreed, cross whatever is so much that now there's everybody looks the same color.
Right.
We've eliminated color altogether.
Right.
Right? Do you think within that one race society we'll have compassion for each other, or you still think that some of the fucked up attitudes will survive the crossing?
No, I mean humans will always disagree.
Right.
Right? So you're always gonna have that aspect. But it's more of a situation where you're not fucking with that person and stuff, not because what they look like, but what they were based about.
Right.
So, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I think for me to have that whole look on a person, me not being, let's say, if I wasn't black,
yeah,
and I just look at a black person and say a black person just like presents like fear, crime, whatever, everything in your head, that's racism.
Yeah.
That's part of racism and stuff like that. Like that whole prejudice aspect and stuff of it. That's racism. But now you're looking at a person and stuff and like, you could be a fucked up person and stuff like, two Jamaican people could look the same, come from the same place, and still have two different outlooks on the world. One could be good and one could be bad.
Right.
But at least we're eliminating like that first thing. We're getting past that surface shit.
To get that out of the way. Because when you said racism, I seen where you were going. I was wondering if that could work if we got rid of classism as opposed to racism.
I don't know. You probably got to think on that. If I'm playing with that thought, I probably might say no. The reason why I would say no is because you got to look at it where you have the have and the have-nots. That's how I look at it. Right?
Yeah.
So like you got the have and the have-nots. There's a lot more have-nots than there are haves. Right? And then now, even within the haves, you got to look at like that quote-unquote 1%. If all the people in the world start going after the 1% billionaires and everything, or the superpower people, it's going to be mad chaos for a bit. And I want to say it might trickle and last longer because it's kind of like the have-nots. You just like, let's say, all right, keep it real. Give me 50 mil, I'll tell you how I feel. Right? I might work out. I might try to keep myself toned.
Right.
I'm not working out to fucking beat off people. I'm gonna pay bodyguards for that shit. Let my bodyguards body you.
Right.
Right? My bodyguards don't make the same money I make.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. That classism aspect and everything like that, you're in the have-nots. I'm gonna pay you to stay close to me who has something. So I feel like classism won't really end it like that. Because you're always gonna have like the haves are gonna pay people and stuff like the have-nots to do the job, right? You're gonna need worker bees. You're gonna need worker bees. You're gonna need workers.
Okay.
That's just the one freestyle thought on it.
Right.
Now, if I gave it some thought and everything like that, I probably might play with it. But, hey, man. Yeah. Another time, another episode. See? Fire question.
There you go.
So, fire question. Last question comes from Timber_dog. What is the male equivalent of a woman showing her cleavage for seduction? Smooth and his gray jogging pants wearing ass.
I was gonna say when men stroke their beard.
You know what? You're right. Yeah.
It just dawned on me while that question was being asked.
Yeah.
What do we do? I think that's what it is more. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and so you know it's so weird too, because I want to say for me, when I was growing my beard, right?
Right.
A lot of the Caucasians, like I watched a whole mad YouTube videos and stuff on like beard growth and how to handle it and all that type of stuff. And a lot of the Caucasian folk that grow beards, they grow their hair over their lip, the top lip.
Right.
They have smaller lips. So I guess to get and give them more of a, this word, boy, it was used a lot in those things. Burly. You know exactly what fucking word too. To give them more of that burlier look.
Yeah.
They will grow their facial hair over their top lip, right? That annoys the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like full lips like that, whatever, but they're full enough. They're okay. They're great to me. I own these motherfuckers.
Right.
So it doesn't cover fully, but it's okay. Now, my shit, I might laugh or yawn or open up my mouth wide, and then it might just move some of the hairs around.
Yeah.
Unless if I'm eating and stuff too, some of these hairs over here get moved over here.
Right.
So I'm not really stroking my beard for like saying, Grandmaster always says. It's more a situation like, I'm just trying to get comfortable with it to a position again, right? Because I don't like all that beard balm, chemical shit and everything to hold it. Like, kind of like a one that's soft and not chemically. Like, look, my hand's not shining, but it looks shiny, right? So I like more of a natural kind of type of dance to it. So I'm not out here like, metaphorically speaking, I do feel like E = MC square. And then somebody else in the room might get turned on by it, right? Because I always look like, and there's no homo, but I always look at stuff like when the dudes always be like, they have a deep thought. They're like, with the guys with beards, like, And then when I didn't have a beard, I was like, I should grow a beard so I could do some shit like that. And now I can. And now sometimes I catch myself doing that too. I look at something like, the fuck? This shit's different right here. And then not knowing it's somebody's Calvin Klein pose when I'm actually trying to figure out why this is this.
Yep.
So yeah. Beard stroking and gray jogging pants.
There you go. That's the combo.
Smooth, you slut. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the end. Thank you for joining us. Let's get to the So Say the Sons for the week. So Say the Sons this week says, guessing is cheap, but guessing wrong could get pricey. So Say the Sons. I look at it where a ton of people would do these random ass Hail Marys on, I want to say, more relationship, friendships, and all that type of stuff. You got to know who you're going to ally yourself and stuff with.
Right.
Just because things look good on the surface, and it may work out, it may not.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you might look at a woman and be like, oh, shit, she's everything I wanted aesthetically. And then she's dumb as a bag of rocks.
There you go.
Right?
Since the age of 4, she's been putting cats on fire.
Oh my God.
She didn't have a microwave though.
Are you?
She just been
Listen,
using.
this episode is called Microwave Cats, folks.
She didn't have a
People
microwave.
gonna come after us, but they gonna realize and stuff that the tension wasn't that bad. Dear Peter, if you get to the end of this damn episode, I do apologize, but I just feel like some of the psychopaths, not the sociopath, the psychopaths.
They started somewhere, man. They started somewhere. We think it's the cats in the microwave.
You live heavily on that.
That's the thing. Oh, remember when they put the gremlins in the microwave?
Yeah, the Gremlins was the wildest. They didn't remake that yet.
Nah, right.
There was water, there was rain, hurricanes. Gremlins would be different now.
Yeah, they'd be different.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here once again. Thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.